Hello, and welcome to Biker Bushcraft. As many of you may have noticed, my Friday uploads have been delayed a little bit recently due to some circumstances beyond my control. I will, however, be continuing to upload videos on Friday and should be back on track fairly soon. Among other things, I've experienced some delays due to the fact that I've got a mechanical issue with the bike, and I've been trying to solve that for the last 2 weeks and haven't quite got it sorted out yet. And the bike being such an integral part of my channel, that has caused some delays. But I will be continuing to deliver the same video excellence that you've all come to expect and anticipate. And I appreciate all of you who continue watching my videos. Commenting, liking, subscribing means a lot to me. I received a challenge from Jungle Jay's Adventure, and this was an interesting one. This one's going around YouTube. I'm sure many of you have seen it. Some of you have, I know, been tagged in it. And that is the 5 items challenge. And the challenge was for me to name my 5 favorite items for outdoors. That was not an easy thing to do. My gear is pretty specific. It all has functions. It's all important. I wouldn't really want to go out without any of it. But if I were to name my favorites, I would start with not my axe, although I love my axe, but not my axe. My tarp, specifically my bedroll. Now, this bedroll, I'm including in this my sleeping pad and my ground tarp. So as a unit, this is my #1 favorite piece of gear. The reason that it's my favorite piece of gear as a unit is, as some of you will recall in the couple of videos I spent the night without a ground pad, I decided I'm not doing that anymore. So I've got to have the ground pad. The ground tarp is a convenience item, and it fits into this component. And the tarp, I've just always had a tarp. I don't always put the tarp up over the bike. At times I will put it on the ground and just use it as a ground pad to sleep on. Sometimes I will wrap the tarp over me, and these are things that I'll be happy to show in another video. But the versatility of the tarp accommodates the #1 rule I have for all of my equipment, and that is it has to perform more than one function. I've been asked in the past about why I would select a tarp over a tent. That is one of the main reasons. There are a lot of things about tents that I don't find as comfortable, but more importantly is the fact that this tarp can be used as a ground cloth, can be used as a shelter, can be used to haul firewood, can be used for any number of things, an outer skin for a sleeping package. So I've got my wool blanket, I've got my ground pad, and I wrap up and cocoon up in this tarp. So much versatility. So this is a great tool. It's one of my absolute favorites. It's something that I would not leave home without. The second item on my list of favorite items to take outdoors is my Frivel Mills 100% wool blanket. This blanket's awesome. It is incredibly warm, incredibly comfortable. I just absolutely love it. As I'm sure many of you know, wool is ideal for a lot of reasons. One is if it gets wet, it will continue to keep you warm. So if I've been out all day trying to gather wood, trying to get out of a rainstorm, and I just need to wrap up in something and stop shivering, this will do it. Even though I'm wet, this will get me warmed up and give me a chance to dry. I can use this, of course, as a blanket, but again, my number one rule, it has to perform more than one function. This can be a shelter. This is a queen size. It's 90 by 96 inches, so it's big enough that I could tie this up as a hammock if I were a hammock sleeper. I'm not, but the option's there. This also works as clothing. I can fold this and put it over me as a cloak, and it's extremely warm as an outer garment. Wool is also very flame resistant, so I don't have to worry about embers from the fire catching me on fire while I'm sitting there trying to warm up. So this is a multi-use, wonderful, wonderful piece of gear, and absolutely one of my favorites. My next favorite piece of gear is another assembly, and that's my knife. And this is the Mora Black. I've seen the new Moras that are out, and they're impressive. I don't like the handle as well. One of the things that really attracted me to this knife was the shape of the handle. It fits my hand just absolutely perfect. I can chop with this thing, cut with it, baton with it, and I have done all of the above. It's held up well. It's razor sharp. It's absolutely an amazing knife. And it is, honestly, this is my favorite knife. I have owned many, many knives, and currently own many, many knives. This is my all-time favorite. Now, the reason that I say this is an assembly is because it does have a fire steel. So I've got my knife and I've got my fire making tools together. This is awesome. I don't consider leaving home without this. It's always with me, whether I'm on a bike or in a car, it's always with me. So this is the third of my favorite items to take out in the bush with me. The fourth item is my water bottle. Now, I got this years ago as a spiff someplace I worked, and a vendor gave these out to all of us, and this thing has just been fantastic. It's sub-zero, obviously holds water. It's been beat up and abused, dragged around, dropped, everything else. But here's the thing. It's a nice single wall, good quantity. I mean, the water in this will last me a while. If I had to make it last me, it would. And it's watertight. No matter what I do to this thing, it's never leaked a drop. It's easy to clean. And because it's single wall, I can sterilize water in it. If I were in a situation where I had to sterilize water, had no other means to collect safe drinking water, I can put this on the fire and it'll be fine. It does not have any plastic attached to the bottle itself, so I can rig a paracord sling to hang this up if I had to hang it as a pot. There are so many options. So water sterilization and water storage. This container also serves more than one purpose. And there's one other purpose it serves, and that is if I warm water in this and I put it down in my sleeping setup, it'll help keep me warm at night. The water has a really good heat index, meaning it stays warm for a long time. So heated water bottles in your sleeping bag, in your wool blanket, wherever you are going to help keep you warm a good portion of the night. So this, definitely one of my favorite pieces of outdoor gear. My fifth piece of gear, I think a lot of you may be able to guess, would be my cast iron frying pan. I love this thing. I take it everywhere. I've taken it everywhere for years. So, multi-purpose. Well, I could boil water in it. I can cook just about anything in it. I suppose I could use it to ward off bears or at least annoying campers. But, okay, so this has a little bit more limited use than some of the others. But I just like it. This would be something I would consider a comfort item. having the cast iron frying pan allows me to cook some things that would be harder to cook but not impossible to cook otherwise. So it's just a comfort item. And sometimes I do strap it onto a visible place on the bike, and you'd be amazed at how many people ask me about my cast iron frying pan. So it's cool. I like it. This is my Frivel. This is the one item that I just like. I just take with me because I like. So there's my 5 items. Those are the 5 favorite items that I would take with me no matter what other gear that I pack. And they get used the most. And they're the 5 items that if any one of them failed, became damaged, became lost, I would immediately replace. So there you go. Now the other part of this challenge is I am to tag 5 other YouTubers to tell you what their 5 favorite outdoor items are. And I've made a list of them, and I'm going to go ahead and put it out there. First would be Austrian Bushman. And if you haven't seen his channel, it's awesome. He does some really cool bushcraft outdoor stuff. Really good guy too. The second one is M and the Gang. They're not bushcrafters. They do a little bit of outdoor stuff, but it's mostly family vlogs. But they're outdoor people. They're really cool, and their videos are really fun. So they're worth taking a look at. I'd recommend looking at their channel. And M, I really look forward to seeing what you guys come up with for your 5 favorite outdoor camping type items. Pinetree Line Outdoors. You're awesome, dude, and I love your channel. You always comment on my stuff. I'm very grateful for that. You always watch my videos and have been very supportive. I've seen a lot of your gear, and I'd really like to tag you in this and see what your 5 favorite outdoor items are. So Steve. Get out! Just kidding, Steve. If you guys haven't seen So Steve's channel, that's sort of an inside joke, but as soon as you see his channel, you'll understand. He does amazing videos. Every time he cooks something, it makes me want to go and cook the same thing, so he's definitely doing something right. Steve, I would like very much to see your 5 favorite outdoor items. That would be very cool. I'm curious what you come up with, because you and I seem to have similar style in how we like to camp. And I'm just going to establish that Spirit Forest gets tagged in every challenge that I do. Just part because she's so awesome, part because anybody who doesn't hear her name in one of my videos is going to hear it in the next. You got to check out her stuff. What she's doing is really cool. She's been really supportive. She's just absolutely an awesome human being, has an awesome channel, and is on an awesome journey. Watch her stuff. You'll see what I'm talking about. So Spirit Forest, I'm going to throw this one out to you, and that is, do a video, show us what your 5 favorite items are. I'm really curious to find out. You do a little bit more high altitude, cold weather stuff than a lot of us, and so I'm guessing that your list is going to be a little bit different. I'm looking forward to it. So there we go. I want to again thank Jungle J Adventures for tagging me for this video. It was fun, and again I'm hoping that a lot of you learned a little bit more about me as we went along. And as soon as I figure out what's going on with the bike here, we're going to be back out doing some overnighters, doing some road trips. It's warmed up in Death Valley again. I'm excited about that. I think it's getting to be time to head down there and see if we can't camp in the desert. Thank all of you for watching. I appreciate all of you, and I'll see you on the next one.